when he came down the lane, he just went one way, said, well, I don't know, and then he went off against the glass. He can do the impossible, the unbelievable, and it was his game tonight.
There are moments in sports that define a player's legacy, and while Michael Jordan has plenty of them before 1991, something happened in that year that changed everything. MJ had it all: scoring titles, MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, All-NBAs, you name it. But one thing he still didn't have was a championship ring. So when the stakes were at their peak in the finals, something went down that would test if MJ really had that dog in him, or if he'd fold under pressure. What happens next? Well, things are about to get wild. Stick around as we dive into one of the most iconic moments in NBA history that would define Jordan's legacy and the league for years to come. Back in 1984, the Bulls selected Michael Jordan with the 3rd pick.
And now we are ready for the 3rd pick, and the Chicago Bulls, who have been drafting very high down through the years, and they have the 3rd pick.
Michael Jordan of the University of North Carolina.
And man, it didn't take long for MJ to make some serious noise. He snagged Rookie of the Year like it was nothing.
At one guard, number 23, a rookie from North Carolina, Michael Jordan.
And by his 3rd season, he already had his first scoring title under his belt. Fast forward to 1988, and Jordan stacking hardware, winning his first MVP, and even winning the Defensive Player of the Year, and MJ was already the best in the game, hands down. But here's the catch. Even with all the personal accolades, Jordan and the Bulls just couldn't break through the East. Early on, Larry Bird and the Celtics had them in a chokehold. And when the 80s were wrapping up, it was the bad boy Pistons giving him nightmares. But by the 90-91 season, MJ was on a whole other level. 4 straight scoring titles, 4 straight All-NBA first team nods, and 3 straight All-Defensive first team honors. Plus, with Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, and John Paxson backing him up, the Bulls finally clicked, winning 61 games, the best in the league. They steamrolled through the playoffs, brushing aside New York and Philly before sweeping those Pistons. And man, the rivalry was so intense that Detroit didn't even bother shaking hands after getting swept. No sportsmanship there. But no matter, the Bulls had punched their ticket to the finals. Now, waiting for them was the old school Showtime Lakers, led by Magic Johnson, a 5-time champ, with a squad full of vets like James Worthy, Sam Perkins, and Byron Scott. No Kareem this time though, since he retired a few years earlier. They fought through Houston, Golden State, and Portland to get to the finals. Everyone hyped this up as a dream matchup. Jordan, the young superstar, against Magic, the seasoned legend. MJ was on the rise looking for his first ring, while Magic, 31, had already collected 5 championships and 3 MVPs. Sure, he lost a step, but Magic was still Magic. With the spotlight shining bright in the 1991 NBA Finals tipping off, with the Bulls and Lakers putting on a show in Game 1, Michael Jordan, making his long-awaited Finals debut after 7 tough seasons, wasted no time making his presence felt. He came out guns blazing, dropping 15 points, snagging 3 boards, and dishing out 5 assists in just the first quarter. But despite MJ's hot start, Magic Johnson and the Lakers weren't backing down, keeping it tight the whole way. By the 3rd quarter, Magic was doing his thing, hitting back-to-back threes and securing his 29th career playoff triple-double. The Lakers built their biggest lead of the game, and it was looking rough for Chicago. But you know Jordan wasn't going to let that slide. He poured in 13 points in the 4th, dragging the Bulls back into it, and they even took a 91-89 lead, setting up a nail-biter finish. With time winding down, both teams were trading misses until Jordan's old North Carolina buddy, Sam Perkins, hit a dagger 3 with 14 seconds left, giving the Lakers a 92-91 lead. MJ had one last shot to steal the game, but his 17-foot jumper just rimmed out. And despite his 36-point performance, the Bulls came up short in Game 1.
Michael Jordan, and on behalf of Michael NBC.
Heading into Game 2, the Bulls knew they had to make some adjustments. Magic's triple-double in the opener was a problem, so Chicago made the call to put Scottie Pippen on Magic, while MJ switched over to guard Vlade Divac. That defensive tweak was huge. On offense, Horace Grant was leading the charge early, dropping 14 points in the first half, while Jordan started slow with just 2 points in the first 20 minutes. But you knew MJ wouldn't stay quiet for long. Now the intensity in the second quarter hit another level, but a moment changed everything altogether. See, on an offensive play, MJ went full throttle, driving hard to the rim like he had something to prove. And just as he was about to rise up, Sam Perkins came down hard, smacking Jordan right in the head. But here's the thing, even while taking that hit, MJ still powered through and finished the bucket, and that was just the wake-up call he needed. It was like flipping the switch. You could see it. From that moment, Jordan locked in, dialed up, and started torching the Lakers. Shot after shot, bucket after bucket. He turned the game into his personal highlight reel. The energy in the building shifted. The Lakers felt it. The Bulls fed off of it. And suddenly, it was a whole different ballgame. MJ wasn't just playing anymore. He was dominating. And there was no way LA was gonna stop him. Then came the play of the night. Maybe the play of MJ's career. With about 8 minutes left on the clock, Jordan got the ball and took off down the lane, eyeing the rim like he was ready to unleash one of his signature throwdowns. The crowd could feel it coming, but just as MJ was about to elevate, AC Green stepped in trying to shut down the highlight. But instead of forcing the dunk, Jordan did what only he could do. He adjusted midair in real time like he was bending the laws of gravity. In one smooth, mind-blowing motion, he switched the ball from right hand to left, gracefully laying it off the glass as he floated past Green. The arena exploded. Pure magic. That play didn't just bring the house down, it broke the Lakers. The switch hands layup wasn't just a highlight. It was a dagger, a statement, a momentum shifter, all rolled into one.
To Livingston, Jordan. Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan. That's 13 consecutive.
After that, LA had nothing left. The Bulls cruised to a 107-86 win, with MJ finishing with 33 points, 13 assists, and 7 boards, tying the series 1 apiece. Now, Game 3 was a make or break for both teams, and the Lakers came out struggling on the boards, setting a finals record low for rebounds. Even so, they went on an 18-2 run that turned the 3-point deficit into a 13-point lead. But the Bulls weren't about to let it get away. They responded with a 20-7 run of their own, tying the game at 74 going into the fourth quarter. As the game wound down, Horace Grant gave the Bulls a 90-87 lead with just over a minute left, but the Lakers quickly responded. Sam Perkins hit a clutch bucket to cut the lead to 1.
Back to a 1-point lead.
And a few more Lakers baskets put them up 92-90 with just 10.9 seconds left. Then, like clockwork, Jordan delivered. He hit a clutch 14-footer with 3.4 seconds left, tying the game at 92 and sending it to overtime. In OT, Jordan took over, scoring half the Bulls' 12 points and sealing the win. He finished with 29 points while Pippen added 19 and locked down on defense. The Bulls walked away with the 104-96 win, taking a 2-1 lead in the series. Down 2-1, the Lakers had no choice but to treat Game 4 as a must-win. And they came out strong, grabbing a 28-27 lead by the end of the first quarter. But the Bulls quickly flipped the script, going on a 19-9 run in the second quarter. Michael Jordan took over, dropping 11 points in the quarter as Chicago pulled ahead 46-37. Meanwhile, the Lakers' offense fell apart, hitting just 12 of their next 41 shots across the second and third quarters. To make matters worse, both James Worthy and Byron Scott went out of the game with injuries. With their core players out and Sam Perkins having an off night, Magic Johnson was left helpless. The Bulls took full advantage, running away with the game and sealing a 97-82 win. By Game 5, it was do or die for the Lakers. Down 3-1 and facing an almost impossible challenge without Worthy and Scott, Magic did all he could, dishing out 20 assists and grabbing 11 boards. But with Jordan defending him, Magic struggled to score, finishing with just 16 points on 4 of 12 shooting and committing 6 turnovers. Despite the adversity, the Lakers led 93-90 in the fourth quarter. The turning point came when the Bulls went on a 9-0 run, with John Paxson hitting clutch shots in the final minutes. Paxson scored 10 of his 20 points in the second half of the fourth quarter, securing a 108-101 win and delivering Chicago's first NBA championship. Pippen added 32 points and Jordan contributed 30 with 10 assists, earning Finals MVP honors. But the lasting image from that night was Jordan hugging the championship trophy with tears in his eye, his father by his side. A legacy was cemented. The Bulls came out on top in the 1991 NBA Finals because they were younger, faster, and more athletic, constantly beating the Lakers to loose balls. But one thing that they couldn't do was completely shut down Magic Johnson. They tried everything. Scottie Pippen was glued to him in the backcourt. They threw double teams at him before he crossed half court and mixed up their defensive schemes to keep him off balance. They trapped him in the pick and roll, threw hard edges to mess up his timing, and even dared him to shoot from deep and going under screens. But none of it really stopped Magic. He still made the Lakers go, working hard for every bucket, rebound, and assist. Magic was vintage Magic, directing traffic, running the break, and setting up his teammates for easy scores. While Magic didn't have his best finals of his career, it was still magical. The Bulls won, not because they shut down Johnson, but because their offense clicked and their defense was relentless. Magic averaged 18.6 points, 12.4 assists, and 8 rebounds and played at a Hall of Fame level, and in some ways, his performance flew under the radar. But as good as Magic was, Michael Jordan was on a different level. His 1991 Finals performance wasn't just legendary for the stats. It was the way he took over and elevated his team to new heights. For Jordan, this series was personal. The culmination of years of chasing his championship that always seemed out of reach. From the jump, it was clear that Jordan wasn't just playing to win. He was on a mission to dominate. He didn't just score at will. He controlled every facet of the game. On defense, he was a menace, making life difficult for the Lakers' key players, including Magic. Offensively, he was everywhere, making plays, leading the team, and stepping up in clutch moments like his famous switching hands layup in Game 2 and his game-tying jumper in Game 3's overtime. Even when he wasn't the one scoring, like when John Paxson caught fire in Game 5, Jordan's presence made everything easier for his teammates. He created space, drew defenders, and made the right play, showing off his leadership and basketball IQ. His confidence and decision-making were contagious, and it lifted the entire Bulls squad to believe that they could take it all the way. But it wasn't just about skills. It was about Jordan's will. He led by example, showing the heart, grit, and determination that would define his career. The Bulls' defense clamped down hard, holding the Lakers to a record low 458 points over the 5-game series. Jordan, fresh off his 5th scoring title, silenced all the doubters who said he couldn't win a title. While his 93 Finals might have been his toughest scoring series, this 1991 run was the most well-rounded. Jordan was magnificent on his way to his first championship, shooting 58.8% from the floor and averaging 31.2 points, 11.4 assists, 6.6 rebounds, 2.8 steals, and 1.4 blocks. It doesn't get much better than that. You know the saying, when one door closes, another opens? That pretty much sums up the 1991 NBA Finals. The Magic versus Michael showdown wasn't just a classic matchup. It marked a shift in the entire league, almost like the NBA 2.0 under David Stern. It was the official passing of the torch from the Bird Magic era to the era of Michael Jordan. The series was Magic Johnson's final appearance in the finals, and just 5 months later, he announced his retirement after testing positive for HIV.
The HIV virus that I have attained, I will have to retire from the Lakers.
But the 1991 finals weren't also just about MJ finally getting his championship. It was about the Bulls closing the book on 2 dominant eras. First, they put an end to the Pistons' reign by sweeping them in the Eastern Conference Finals after years of heartbreak and tough losses to the Bad Boys. Then, they closed the door on Showtime and the Lakers dynasty. The Lakers had ruled the 80s with 5 championships, but after that series, they wouldn't win another title until the Shaq and Kobe era. And in the time between, the Bulls established their own dynasty, stacking 6 titles and becoming one of the greatest teams in American sports history. That 1991 finals was a true turning point, a farewell to the Bird Magic greatness and the birth of MJ's dominance. All right, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments. Make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on more videos like this. We'll catch you in the next one.